Hi, it's me. No, 25 million years ago. Long before the first humans set foot in North America. Long before the first dinosaurs laid eggs in what would become Texas. Long before the supercontinent Pangaea split apart, there were plesiosaurs, and for over 65 million years, they captivated the seas. Their paddle-shaped flippers cut through the water as they dove toward the depths in pursuit of prey. But what else do we know about these prehistoric creatures? Let's find out. This is the secrets of the Today we are diving into the secrets of the These large marine reptiles were a diverse group of animals that lived from the Triassic period until the end of the Cretaceous. Over their incredibly long reign, they grew to massive sizes with gigantic skulls, long flexible necks, and for large flippers. Although the plesiosaurs spent their entire lives in the ocean, they weren't fish. They were actually more closely related to turtles than they were to fish. Like many reptiles today, they were cold-blooded and they also had scales. They could breathe air but preferred the salty ocean waters. Some species reached lengths of 40 feet or 12 meters and weighed more than 4 tons or 3,600 kilograms. Others were much smaller, around 3 feet or 1 meter long. Their bodies were mostly made up of their heads and necks, which could be anywhere between 5 and 10 feet or 1.5 to 3 meters in length. They didn't have tails like most marine animals, but instead had a short stubby end to their bodies that kind of looked like a paddle. Between the head and the paddle was the torso, which housed their internal organs. The front of the torso was connected to 2 large flippers, which were shaped like paddles and helped the plesiosaurs steer through the water. Behind that was the neck, which was long and flexible. It allowed the plesiosaurs to turn their heads in almost any direction. At the end of it all was the skull, which was huge and had a wide mouth filled with sharp teeth. They used their mouths to catch and eat their prey, which consisted of fish, squid, crustaceans, and other marine animals. The secret to the plesiosaur's success was probably their incredible adaptations. They were perfectly suited for life in the ocean. Their bodies were streamlined, which reduced the drag they experienced as they moved through the water. This would have been helpful when they were chasing down prey or trying to avoid being eaten themselves. In fact, some scientists think that the plesiosaurs evolved from a group of land-dwelling reptiles that adapted to life in the water. If this is true, it would explain why they have such unique body shape. Their skulls were also very interesting. They were often adorned with bumps and spines that could have been used for display or protection. For example, some plesiosaurs had a bump on their snouts that could have been used for attracting mates. Others had spines along their necks that could have been used for defense against predators. But perhaps the most remarkable thing about the plesiosaurs was their size. Some species were truly gigantic, reaching lengths of more than 40 feet or 12 meters. To put that in perspective, that's about the size of a double-decker bus. It's unclear exactly how the plesiosaurs grew to such massive sizes, but one theory is that it had something to do with their diet. Plesiosaurs were carnivores and they likely ate a lot of fish. Fish are a good source of protein and fat, and maybe eating so much fish allowed the plesiosaurs to grow bigger than other marine reptiles. Another theory is that the plesiosaurs simply lived for a very long time. They may have had a life expectancy of 50 to 100 years, which would have given them plenty of time to grow. This is supported by the fact that the largest plesiosaurs were found in areas where the oceans were warm. Warm water allows for faster growth, so it's possible that the plesiosaurs grew quickly because they lived in tropical waters. One of the main reasons that plesiosaurs were so successful was because they were apex predators. This meant that they were at the top of the food chain in their ecosystems and nothing really hunted them except maybe other plesiosaurs. This allowed them to live long lives and grow to massive sizes. Plus, being apex predators means that you get to eat all the fish you want, but not all. Plesiosaurs were huge. In fact, some were quite small. The smallest species were only a few feet long and looked more like sea turtles than giant sea monsters. These small plesiosaurs likely used their size to their advantage, squeezing into small spaces to hide from predators or ambush their prey. Despite their success, the plesiosaurs eventually disappeared. They went extinct at the end of the Cretaceous period, along with the dinosaurs. It's unclear exactly what caused their extinction, but it's likely that it was due to a combination of factors. One theory is that the breakup of the Pangaea led to changes in ocean currents and climate that made it difficult for the plesiosaurs to survive. Another theory is that the plesiosaurs were simply outcompeted by other marine reptiles, such as the mosasaur. Mosasaurs were also apex predators, but they were more agile and could probably deliver a fatal bite. Still, another theory is that the plesiosaurs were victims of the asteroid impact that also killed the dinosaurs. The impact caused massive changes in the environment, including global warming and ocean acidity. It is possible that these changes were too much for the plesiosaurs to adapt to and they went extinct as a result. So why did the plesiosaurs disappear while other marine reptiles survived? It's possible that the plesiosaurs were simply too big. Their massive size made them slow and clumsy on land, which made them vulnerable to predators. Plus, they needed to eat a lot of fish to survive, and maybe there weren't enough fish to go around after the asteroid impact. Or perhaps the plesiosaurs were just in the wrong place at the right time. Maybe they were already on the way out when the asteroid hit, and their extinction was just a matter of time. When it comes to the extinction of the plesiosaurs, there are more questions than answers. But one thing is for sure, their reign in the Cretaceous seas will never be forgotten. Their massive skulls and long necks dominated the landscape, and their powerful jaws and sharp teeth made them feared predators. We can only imagine the terror they inflicted on their prey as they glided through the water with ease, snatching up fish and other marine creatures and crushing them in their powerful grasp. Today, we can learn more about these fascinating creatures thanks to the discovery of their fossils in places like England, Scotland, Mexico, and Canada. By studying these fossils, we can piece together the history of the plesiosaurs and better understand the world they lived in. It's amazing to think that these creatures roamed the earth so long ago, yet their fossils are still so well preserved. It is a testament to the power of nature and the importance of protecting our planet's natural history. The plesiosaurs are a reminder that our planet has seen some truly amazing creatures, and that we should appreciate the diversity of life that surrounds us. Who knows what other wonders might be waiting to be discovered? With every new discovery, we learn more about the plesiosaurs and their world, and who knows what other secrets they may hold. Thank you for joining us on this journey through time. We hope you learned something new and exciting about the plesiosaurs and their world. Don't forget to subscribe to our channel for more fun and educational content about the natural world. Until next time, keep exploring and keep learning.